What's your opinion? Should we open a position or not? You came here first thing in the morning, sitting down, wanting to see if we make a profit on Apple or not. Are we acting all mysterious with the camera? For what? What do you think? Good morning. I hope you're doing well. I hope you've opened a position. Write it for me in the comments. Let me know. Do you have a position or not? If you do, why did you enter this trade? If you don't, why not? Write it for me so I can read your comments today. Today, I'm using a Python bot. I'm going to extract them. I also want to see the situation of those who have positions, so I can help you a bit more. See what your positions are, or if you don't have any, see how many of you there are, and think about what I can do about it. Because honestly, yesterday, the only thing I didn't do was get your home address. Should I come to our Sundari, pick you up, and do 3 clicks for you so you finally say, no, that's enough? I did all I could so we'd have a position. If I get the first 10 quickly, I'll post them. Yesterday, I posted the watch list. Check the watch list. Is there a problem? I explained this before, but let's go over it again. For example, BitUnix doesn't have ZC. We have 3 active exchanges, Allbank, CoinEx, and BitUnix. That's why we're on several exchanges. First, the main reason. The point is something happens to one exchange, our money is spread out. So if there's an issue with 1 or 2 exchanges, we won't have a problem. All our capital isn't in one place. All our eggs aren't in one basket. So that's another reason. We won't have to worry if something happens to Bitfinex, Alanak, or CoinEx. Second, each of them has its own strengths. Some don't have certain coins, some do. One is better for futures, another is better for spot trading, and another is better for staking, for example. Because as a trader, you need at least one main account and one extra account. Do your crazy stuff in the sub-account and keep your main activities in your main account. If I didn't have a sub-account, my main account would have been in the red 100 times by now. All those wild things that come up, those bad moves, like what happens in bachelor pads, I do them there. We do those things in the sub-accounts so that nothing happens to the main account and life stays sweet and beautiful. If you don't have an account, go make one. I'll put my Tracy Pro affiliate links down in the comments. Use those to sign up, okay? You'll be helping Tracy Pro grow bigger so they can launch their projects more easily without needing to go find investors and give away shares to someone else. That's a way you can help out too. BitUnix has a competition with a prize pool up to $40,000. Only a few days left, and it's easy to get on the ranking board. For example, there's a $2,000 prize. Just do 100 open and close trades to qualify. You don't have to join. Just know the trading volume needed is low. You just open 10 positions with $200 each to reach that level. I'm not saying you should do this. It's kind of a crap move. You're just paying fees. To win a decent prize, you're basically just paying fees. You have to open positions and profit to get ahead. People say, we don't have ZC. Where do we go? ZEC? There's a tool on CoinMarketCap. Search ZC and it shows market pairs. Below, you'll see cash markets listed. Binance has it, Coinbase has it, MEXC has it, KuCoin has it, Bitfinex, Kraken, and so on. If you go to the next page, PancakeSwap has it, you can buy it with your wallet. CoinEx has it, it's even on Nominex, CoinW has it, Just takes a bit of searching. Maybe I'll introduce this guy to you. Maybe I'll check him out myself. Why? It's not a bad thing. I've been doing grid trading on it for a while now. For example, it's been almost 3 months. If I see it's really useful, and you guys do it too, and we end up making a profit, I'll come and teach you a bit about grid trading. The point is, over there you really shouldn't do any capital management. You just go all in. Okay, I just need to make sure that this isn't a joke. Like, I'm not kidding. Over there, you really shouldn't do any capital management. The way grid trading works is, for example, you set a box for it, and it just keeps buying and buying and buying and buying. Then, from here, it keeps selling, and then it keeps buying. It's like a trading robot, but different. Are you trading with the order book? You can give it many tools. The simplest is this. Reaching this target gives the most profit, but I'll explain it to you in detail when the time comes, after I take a short break. So what's up with the chart? Now we've gone up here. Have we closed the position? No, we haven't closed it yet. Why has it moved so far away? No, we need a higher low. And we've also reached a very important resistance. This 119 is the most important resistance we have in this range. Why? Because that's the level where, after that sharp drop, the price came back up, retested it, and then dropped again. So this resistance is really important for us, meaning there's a chance we might range here for a bit. There's also a chance we could start a correction from here. As long as we make a higher low above $12,000, we can say our trend has turned bullish. As long as we make a higher low above $12,000 and come back up. Inside this box, there's a really big wipeout turn, and basically, the bullish trend is canceled for now. The trend that started from this low has also faded, right? No, this needs to happen. This needs to happen. My hope for profit gets really low. My hope for profit gets really low. So I just wanted to point that out. A very important point. Should we take profit or not? Bitcoin dominance in this profit. I'm not saying it dropped and there were a few red candles, like for example, altcoin. So far, the top 10 have given better profits, which I'm analyzing for you now. I mentioned this yesterday too. I said, stick to the top 10. They're all good for opening positions. What about taking profit? This is hard for me to say, but for myself, it's easy. Don't take profit. I don't know your risk tolerance or what position you've opened or at what level. For my own positions, I have opened Bitcoin, Solana, and Ethereum positions, and yesterday I got stopped out on XRP. This friend of ours opened a position here and came to welcome it. What do? I don't touch ETH. ETH is open, and it's open because if it wanted to go here, I should have an open Ethereum position. That's not clear at all. But what about Bitcoin and Solana? Since Bitcoin dominance still hasn't found a proper trend. 59C, it's an important support because it confirms the trend. And since Bitcoin is below its key levels, breaking that upper level, like 125, would be significant. These could go up with an increase in dominance. If I want to take profit, honestly, I haven't decided yet. I might take profit on both. Now, since dominance is dropping more, I'm taking more profit from Bitcoin and less from altcoins. What does that mean? For example, with Bitcoin, we have a lower position that we talked about together a few days ago. On the 15-minute chart, I saw this level breaking. With a stop here, there's a high chance of being stopped out, but it's one of those positions that, if opened, can later give a 1 to 10 risk reward. I take profit from these positions. How do I do these trades? We have a tool here, TCP Money Management Indicator. Open the tool, search indicators, search TCP, it appears. Capital. Now, however much you say, let's say 1,000 in a trade, how much did you risk? Let's say you risked 0.5%. How big was your leverage? 10. What was your entry point? 111.466. 111.466. What was your stop loss? Let's say 111, just to make it easier to write 111.3. Okay, I'll set the rest of the targets. For example, well, it doesn't matter. The target is wherever the price is right now. 115.500, 115.500. For this target, I want a risk to reward of 2R, as per the rule for target 1, and to secure some profit. My checker says to close $276 of my position. If the value was 1,000, I would go and close $276 from this position, just like I said. This way, I've set a risk to reward of 1. It's in my pocket, and it's awesome. This indicator I wrote is strong. In any situation, it's 3 to profit, okay? Let's analyze the monthly candle. 4 days and 19 hours remain. A green close is good, and even better if it closes higher, since the monthly has already moved up. Even the wick is important to me when it comes to candle closes. The shadow is really important for me in stop losses. The shadow. It's important for targets too, but for opening a position or confirming a strong move, the candle close at the bottom is what matters to me. If it closes a bit higher, that's a win. Even though we've had some crazy moves, we're setting out for a new hidden reversal. In the weekly setup, when the previous candle is engulfed, what does that mean? Does it mean we're bullish? No, it just shows sellers don't have much strength right now. That's all. Friends, whenever it closes above 119 to 120, that's what matters. That can also be a trigger for entry confirmation. So, basically, a 12% stop loss or, as always, a safer one below 100,000 and an 18% stop loss can also be a trigger for entry. We also talked about confirmed buying for Bitcoin on the daily time frame. There's a lot of resistance here. This is a very important level, and there's a real chance of a correction from this level. So right now, this isn't a trigger unless this level breaks. The lower side needs to show action. I can't give a signal without a trigger. On top altcoins, I could give a trigger. This level is important. Should you open a position here now? Where can you set your stop? The RSI is overbought on the hourly, 4-hour, and even more so on the daily. On the 15-minute chart, it's just entering overbought. For example, you could risk opening a position on the 15-minute chart, but it's risky since there's no proper stop or clear trend. I'm not insisting you open a position here or set a big stop. Yesterday, I really did my best. Listen, I'm not saying I had said it, or whatever the topic was. Let me just say this once. Maybe if I don't, some people won't open positions after me, Avan. I've been struggling for 4 days straight. In this quick change of and, open a position here. Don't just chase missed opportunities or take risky trades with loose stops. Don't do that. If you act, you must set a stop by. This is where it's worth taking a stop loss or risking a loss, so you don't get caught in losses. Here you can relax. What would I do as a kid? What would I do? Right now, this very bit doesn't have a trigger for entry, but the first reaction here is a correction. A new start. When it comes with a pullback in volume, that's your entry trigger. We can go ahead and open a position. We can go and do that. I mean, you can't just randomly open a position like that. Your stop loss has to be big, otherwise you'll really get stopped out. Your stop loss should be around 1 to 4%, and even then, sometimes it can get hit pretty easily. If you set your stop, it might just get hit right away. So for this move, there's nothing for a short position. That move didn't have a trigger for us to enter. Let's check the rest of the charts. The total chart looks like Bitcoin, and the next resistance is at 3.91. Why did it get there sooner? Because its dominance hasn't dropped much. Total 3's resistance is important. It's here. So we're dealing with major resistances. Guys, total has already broken 1,000 because Ethereum moved ahead by 1,000. The key resistance is for Ethereum, and for total it's at 1.61. For USDT, this candle is breaking down too. Is there support here? Any support at this level? Yes. Yes, we want to pull back. How far should we pull back? Up to 4.92, but let's not go higher than that. If we go higher, the downtrend that has started could end. If it suddenly shoots up with a big sharp candle, we can't really call it a pullback anymore. That's a different story. We wouldn't call it a pullback at that point. Okay, at this level, if there's a reaction, there's no need. But if a reaction is needed, then you can open positions after that. Do I have an open position? Don't worry about it, okay? Just hold back, Reza. Let this wave finish and correct. Next wave, you don't need to hold a position. Don't stress too much. They'll let you enter at the same point. Today, they'll give this dynamic with a pullback. It could go bearish and hit the target. At Arzadi, what's up? Nothing. At Arzadi, what's up? Nothing much? So nothing at all? Don't go long yet. Wait for confirmation. Ignore altcoins. No data for you now. Let it break 7.21, then pay more attention. What should you do now? Check each of your coins, especially BTC pairs. See if any have an entry trigger. If so, take a position. What about this one? We checked SOL BTC yesterday. SOL/BTC is at this box area, but it hasn't broken out yet. If it consolidates above, then the trend can really start. For now, it's just broken out. If it consolidates, SOL can start moving. The move we're in on SOL now is for the trigger. It's early, hit the point, gave entry, had a stop loss, but the move hasn't started yet. I'll explain this in the first part. If it drops lower in the next wave, take a pullback, enter with a setup candle on the 15-minute chart, and look for a higher high and low. Open your position. Having the address doesn't mean we buy. Experience warns us. Let them come up 30 or 40% higher and break a few levels so we're sure. Then we'll make our confirmed buy. I didn't bring the lottery with me today. We're a bit out of sync on lottery talk, but I'll start again tomorrow. For the lottery, write a little today, jot down how you're doing, if you have a position or not, and ask questions. Older members, help answer. I'll also look at the questions. If something seems important, I'll answer or suggest a video, or I'll talk about it in tomorrow's training session. Write a little today. We've been a bit distant lately. Let's get a bit closer to each other again, and we'll do another lottery together. Okay? Messy hair. About 1,300 Instagram videos on Bitcoin. And this time ours was right too. ETH and BTC moved. It's good too, especially if this 36.8K level is about to break. Why do these two? If this 36.8K level breaks, it gives us confirmation for the continuation of Ethereum's bullish trend. ETH/USDT itself. For taking a position, that's it. That's all. And there's an arbitrage opportunity here. Gives 6 pips, but needs a strong pivot. Now, it either wants to react to this level or to 4,283. Right now, it has to react to one of these. If it breaks below the range, then if it goes up sharply later. All we can do is hope it reacts at 4,410 or 4,534. It needs to make a move and give us a position, because if it just takes off, how are we supposed to catch the wave? Then we have to go with it. I've said this before, and I'll say it again. If your stop isn't in the right place or is too big, you have two options. Either you missed the right entry or the right entry hasn't come yet. At this point, it's both. You either missed the entry where your stop would be right, or the entry hasn't shown up yet. So this one isn't for us right now. It's not our trade. This is for someone who's gambling if they want to buy here. Now we don't set a stop. We let it drop lower, and we still want to buy. Still want to buy. Oh no, I got liquidated. This is for those kinds of people. I'm not like that, and neither are you. So we have to wait for it to show us some kind of reaction. But here's the thing. What if all of these just break through and drop straight down without any reaction? Nothing, nothing at all. Just monitor the trade you open. The same stop loss we have, plus the bit of profit I told you to take here. If your position goes a little into profit, it hits and closes. So, we wait to see if the market creates a new structure for us or not. That whole situation that happened at the low. There's no reason to change the wave cycle anymore. Right now, we're rising from the bottom of my medium wave cycle, and if the bullish trend has taken hold in that low wave cycle area, even my HWC is having its effect. Up until today, in the news, it's probably about the big buyers' purchases. They're talking about it, but those guys are making some moves. So it's possible that HWC could also affect our market. For now, in the low wave cycle, on the 15-minute chart, we're basically not doing much. Let me just mention this point here. I've said this many times in this low wave cycle, million wave cycle, high wave cycle. I've said these are from different time frames. I'll show you 3 frames to help you understand better. Let's watch the tutorial video and be surprised. Not time frames, but your expectations movement. that defines your market goals. What are low, medium, and high wave cycles? I might mention a low wave cycle. I might show it to you on the 15-minute or daily chart, depending on my approach and market view. For example, if low wave cycle, I'll show you on the daily chart. I'm analyzing next year. The same applies to the medium wave cycle. For Mr. Bill's cycle, it might take 30% of the time to become active, maybe 50 days, while in the 15-minute chart. I'll also show you the low bill cycle, and the stop applies to all of them. 3 to 2% of the movement, at most, takes a day or two, so don't miss its video. If you don't watch it, you'll have trouble identifying the cycle. I told you to lock in profits, but how? In my view, it's the same as before. Take profit. I'm not touching my Ethereum. Even if it hits the stop, all profit will be gone. If you've opened a position, fine, but if not, don't act impulsively now. Even if candles turn green, we both know there's no room for a stop where your position survives. Is it logical or correct? You open a position, it might go into profit, but if you had waited. For example, if you had opened the position where your stop loss should have been, you would have made more profit because your stop would have been tighter. Would you have gotten a better risk-reward ratio? You could have taken more risk. Right now, you can't take much risk. We're in the first uptrend wave. We had anticipated the first leg and opened a position down there. After a correction, it might give us another entry opportunity. It tells me to check out altcoins. If you look in the alts, you'll find another entry. Some haven't moved yet, but if Bitcoin drops, those will move too. They'll hit stop losses. Since we open positions with stop buy orders, if Bitcoin drops, those positions won't even activate. And if Bitcoin moves up, their stop levels are in a good spot. It's possible that they might get a pullback. So later, when Bitcoin corrects, they won't get stopped out. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and comment. Check out the pinned comment and write one for me too.